Speaking of articles and preconceptions, uh,
Yes.
that Wired article, one, very long.
That was a fantastic segue. Let's hop on over here, shall we? Hello,
Thank you.
Ash. How you doing?
Uh, ooh, fantastic transition. It's
Mm-hmm.
always so good. Uh, yeah, so, like, you look at it, it's a doozy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's it say there? 10-minute listen?
Yes. I think it's going to take a little bit longer than that because we'll be reacting to this. So Zen has read this. I have not. This is gonna be some good shit.
This is, I won't say, I won't give any spoilers, but this article is like the most watered down M. Night Shyamalan ride. Alright, go ahead.
Excellent. So I just wanted to quickly mention, like, this Wired article is written by Ashwin Rodriguez, a freelance writer based in Brooklyn. His work has been featured in GQ, Fast Company, Fortune, McSweeney's, Vice, and other publications. But like, he's basically only got 2 articles in Wired at all. But yeah, was wondering if I could get like a bead on him from like looking at his other like articles. Not to be in this particular. I know. Like it starts off literally, Bluesky can't take a joke, so really looking forward to seeing what he does, what he says here. Let's see. Looking at some of his stuff in GQ, he's written things like, what's better, heavy weights or high reps? Is cardio fitness or muscular strength more important for longevity? And why is it so fun to fight about? Why easy zone 2 workouts became the biggest thing in fitness. Research says this is how to use cardio to boost your strength. So, you know, clearly a very, clearly someone who's very much used to writing about comedy and socioeconomic stuff.
Right? Though I do wanna take moment credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are really like tame and totally acceptable headlines.
Oh yeah.
And I because it doesn't make a difference, I'm gonna make a wager that the content is fine. So like this is dude just like a regular gym rat. He's not some way huffing like nutrition supplement dude.
Right. He's not on like Jelly Juice or Brain Force or anything like that.
Yeah, this is just a regular
Yeah.
person.
Just a gym bro maybe who you know, probably got banned off of Bluesky for, you know, maybe being a little too spicy. And so yeah, Bluesky can't take a joke. Bluesky has been a safe haven for users fleeing X and threads, but while there's less hate, there's also fewer lols. Speaking of current year,
Dog whistle.
lols.
I don't know. At the, like, I wouldn't say it's actually a dog whistle, but like at this point, people who say lols, LOLZ, like I'm like, what's your background and what's your current connection to it?
Yes, calls it X, immediate red flag. I was watching a video about how fascists will waste your time by Thought Slime. Okay, so like Thought Slime has definitely had some interesting videos, also some bad takes. He has they have they've also made up some shit about leftist content creator Xanderhall, but then of course we found out that Xanderhall wasn't exactly squeaky clean either. So I guess, you know, try to divorce the media from the person sometimes. I'll have to take a look. But whilst also being reminded who it's from. Hi, Storm. How you doing? Okay. Amy Brown was not screaming. She was not crying. She was not throwing up. But on Bluesky, she said that she was doing all 3 simultaneously. Jesus Christ. What a fucking boomer ass thing to say. Amy Brown was not laughing out loud. She was not laughing so hard that her ass fell off. Yet she both typed LOL and Lamau in the same post. She was not laughing so hard that she burst. Thank you, Lifeforce. Christ, this is we're already off to a great start. Brown's husband visited a Walgreens while he was on a business trip in Ohio in February. He told her the prices were cheaper than in California, where they live. The price disparity led her to post that she was screaming, crying, and throwing up. Several Bluesky users responded to tell her that she was exaggerating and that nobody could possibly care that much. They were right. She didn't. She was referencing one of the internet's common sayings, one used so often that it's the name of a Spotify compilation. Like, I just want, like, this reads like somebody who has, like, literally never used the internet until now. Like,
it just occurred to me, how dare he not credit Tumblr for that?
Right? You know, people don't know where their history comes from. But yeah, like, this reads like a 60-year-old who had just, you know, gotten onto, like, their 56K modem and had, like, trolled through a forum and was just like, why are the kids saying LOL and LMAO?
Just wait till you get the Nazi-like salutes.
Thank you for
the bits,
inserting your tip.
This guy shits out whatever he needs to go make cash, and I doubt he believes any of this.
Oh, sure. Like, these people will say whatever just to get the clicks, and, you know,
that's literally their job.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm right here, having a little bit of funny haha with y'all. You know, I'm just as engagement baity right now as them. Does that make me as bad as them? No, I'm obviously better than them. If you're so desperate to write you're doing GQ articles about random shit, this guy's just a content farmer. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
What Brown?
Sure. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to because this thing is just full of all kinds of wild twists and turns, and it's fundamentally a garbage article. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm going. Let's see. What Brown experienced is familiar to any former Twitter/X user gathering their bearings on the young and decidedly more earnest social network Bluesky. Huh? At least he admits that it is a more earnest social network. A distinct humor detection issue. Maybe you just suck at detecting humor. Like, that seems like a you problem, my guy.
Oh my god, that's a great. Well, no, so like, and you see people, especially things trickling from Twitter, of people on Bluesky just don't get the joke. And hang on,
I'm sure
he talks about that. Like,
sure.
let him cook a little bit before you roast him too much. Like, again, the article is fundamentally garbage, but let him cook a little bit so you can get some of these contradictions on your palate before.
Okay. Some users are unable to decipher jokes, or they are deliberately trying to miss the point to make a different one. You don't say. Many Bluesky users migrated over from Twitter, where the top doge who did Nazi-like salutes on television.
Air horns and red flags.
Is live tweeting the destruction of American infrastructure. That's a different and much more serious problem. Still, the seeming obliviousness/self-seriousness of many Bluesky users is grating when you're not used to it. Okay. I still prefer it to the Nazi platform. They're speaking a completely different language than me, Brown says. We're both speaking English, but I'm speaking internet. Yeah, top doge seems like a red flag as well.
Right.
Brown, a former social media manager for Wendy's, joined Bluesky in 2023. Okay, a social media manager for Wendy's. Like, okay, the social media manager for Wendy's was kind of cooking like really early, but I don't know if they continued with that kind of top quality roasting. Let's see. Her Twitter account was banned after she impersonated Elon Musk for almost 2 hours on November 4th, 2022. I remember that, like, comedy was supposed to be legal. The incident, as she calls it, happened shortly after Twitter announced paid verification. Brown changed her profile picture to one of a balding entrepreneur. Amazing. And edited her display name to Elon Musk (real). She convincingly emulated his voice, posting musings like, "My wife left me, lol, and my penis is not weird." Okay, but that
An
is
immaculate bit.
right. That is a pretty convincing impersonation of him, though. She didn't know whether she'd be banned for her behavior on Twitter, but once she was okay with the possibility. It's like, okay, but let's also point out the fact for a moment that this humor is not the writer's humor. It is, in fact, this other person's humor that he is merely relaying. Let's not give him more credit than he deserves.
Absolutely, that credit has to go to the professional social media person.
Let's see. It's like Elon's already the main character on this platform every day, and now he owns it. Do I really want to be here anymore? She says. While you can still find plenty of this kind of humor on Bluesky, there are a surprising number of people genuinely confused by it. There are several factors to blame here. Are there a surprising number of people genuinely confused by it? I've never seen anyone who's confused by this.
No, so since I'm small and I spend a fair bit of time on my Discover feed, I get to see all sorts of random shit, and Bluesky is surprisingly populated by like normal ass people. And because Bluesky's Discover tab just throws people at random shit, or random shit at people, you've got these regular folk who are these folk who are not in on the internet stuff, or just not like. And they'll just be real confused. They'll be real confused, as would any normal person running into internet humor in this post irony era.
I guess. Okay, I'll allow it.
Like I think there's a little there's a little bit of merit on that one, and I think that trait is a positive trait to Bluesky.
Yeah,
I think that introduction of a normie, the revolution will not happen without normies, and while it will not be televised, it will not be on Bluesky. People are going to meet, and people are going to encourage each other, and things related to the revolution will happen there.
Absolutely.
And we need normies for that.
Yes, we definitely do need to cross-pollinate our audiences.
The revolution will not happen without cringe.
Exactly. We are going to need to ally with the I'm with her libs and those kind of people. First is the clash between former users of Twitter and Facebook. Anyone who logged their time on the Everything app is familiar with the language of Twitter. Posts steeped in irony, in-group references, platform-specific history. When they left Twitter, they brought all that wisecracking inside drollery with them. They even brought their pig shitting on its own testicles JPEGs. Meanwhile, former power users of Facebook, Instagram, and Threads are accustomed to their own barometers of funny. While Twitter felt like an intentional way to primarily interact with mostly strangers, and a familiar face might cause the user a moment of horror, Facebook was the opposite, at least initially. before it became Click Farmville for engagement bait and advertisements for oddly specific custom novelty teas. Okay. I will give the man like half of a clap for Click Farmville.
Like there's a couple of decent little stingers in here. Like
Just like a sharp exhalation through the nose of like almost a laugh.
Once I committed to it, the guy's writing got me through the whole article. Like, I have to give him credit to at least his skill as a person who writes things to read through.
Oh yeah. It'll be exclusively a pirate radio station broading out of the college campus's audio room. True. Give it, yeah. We'll all just everyone like broadcasting using whatever they've salvaged from the nearby Radio Shack and just broadcasting on any available channels, making their own as well.
Just so you know, I'm gonna go lurk now.
Alrighty, see you later, Mel. Bluesky also got a big boost in users from mainstream television. MSNBC ran multiple segments about the social network, including bumps on Morning Joe, The Weekend, All In with Chris Hayes, and The Rachel Maddow Show. Regular MSNBC viewers who took the plunge might not be as familiar with the tenor and style of online conversation on the smartass social web. Okay, I can see that, especially if they are like people who aren't terminally online.
Yeah, it's one of the sources of normies that I mentioned.
Yeah, that's fair. The lack of humor detection is made worse by tech. Algorithmically curated content, a la Bluesky's Discover feed, surfaces random posts to random people. A Maddow referral on Bluesky might see an ex-Twitter user's vivid description of what they'd do to the Hamburglar if they saw him in person, and react with genuine horror and confusion. It's also a PEBCAC issue. For those who don't know, PEBCAC stands for Problem Exists Between Keyboard and Chair. Oh, it literally says it right here. You cannot force a person to understand a joke. The only action more futile is to get mad about it. Okay, that's you know what? Yeah, that's actually true. If these disparate groups have anything in common, it's discussed with gigantic tech companies led by unpalatable CEOs, paired with a yearning to post in the lingua franca of their previously beloved platforms. Okay, I can agree with that. A lot of people definitely came over to Twitter wanting to keep everything as they knew it, just without a Nazi in charge. And we all kind of adapted in our own ways.
And Bluesky is decidedly not Twitter without a Nazi in charge. Bluesky is painted like Twitter, but it's become its own distinct thing.
I definitely feel a lot less angry whilst I'm browsing through Bluesky. But yeah, everyone's brains are broken in different ways. I empathize with those who don't get the joke, but I empathize more with the people trying to make them. To paraphrase an Axios story from last year, America is in the midst of a gullibility crisis. People can't tell what's real. People can't tell what's AI, a manipulated screenshot, a joke, or a lie. And yeah, a lot of people who use Facebook are just like, look at this poor, refugee from like Florida who's caught in the floods right now, completely ignoring the fact that she has like 5 arms and her face is melting. And, because their brains are broken. Many of us have opened up our relationship with reality, and the political climate has exacerbated the issue, according to Josh Gondelman, a comedian who previously worked as a producer and writer on Desus and Mero, I don't know that one, and wrote for Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Since Trump's run for the presidency, there's been a rapidly accelerating not getting jokes on the internet, Gondelman says. What jokes are you mad about them not getting? By Gondelman's recollection, Bluesky hit a point where it's populated enough with active users to be both fun and useful at some point within the past 6 months. But that also means it hit the tipping point where it's populated enough to be annoying, he says, laughing. Maddie Lubchansky, an Ignatz Award-winning cartoonist, author, and illustrator, describes herself as a primarily joke-posting kind of person. The humor detection issue of Bluesky is part of a broader phenomenon she has observed, which she calls riff collapse. Okay, I guess I need more explanation before I say anything, because unlike the reactionaries, I'm not just gonna instantly form an opinion after every single sentence that's said. I'm gonna let it cook.
Good call. There's this dude does a whole lot of things that like it's very both sidesy, but not in the normal kind of way, but more where like he's Ace Attorney bit running from one side of the courtroom to the other.
Uh-huh. The day after the 2025 Oscars, Lubchansky posted, "I haven't seen any of the Oscar movies this year, nor have I seen any movie ever made. I'm afraid that the people trapped inside the screen will be angry at me for not helping them escape, and once they are out, I will be punished. Anyway, here's how the awards validated an opinion I already had." Okay, that's pretty good. Life Force, so what is your position, sir? The replies that followed were earnest opinions and arguments about Oscar-nominated films. Some people asked for movie recommendations. Some unironically recommended she check out The Purple Rose of Cairo. Only a handful of people seemed to have understood that she was joking. Lubchansky says she sees this type of riff collapse happen daily, and she thinks it's because of the influx of new users from Meta and Twitter. Okay, I can see that. Like if if you're not as irony steeped as a lot of us, if you're not as like completely jaded by the political discourse day in day out, and if you're not as like unfortunately media literate as a lot of us, seeing that sentence just completely out of the blue, it might be puzzling as to like why exactly they've said the things that they have. And like pretending that you've never seen a movie before. You gotta add a /s to the end of your message. Okay, but the people who need that kind of notification don't know what /s or /j means.
Listen, like there need to be courses in school for online literacy, and people should go back and take them. But like, seriously, like I was not in a typing class, but the typing classes at schools I went to usually included some element of computer safety.
Yeah.
And how to like navigate the internet without like getting in danger. And there's a whole lot of stranger danger sentiment that's gone.
Yeah.
A lot less suspicion on the internet in general, and that's bad for it.
I remember growing up, my parents were like, you never know who's on the other end of a computer. Like, you don't just give out your personal information to people that you talk to online. My parents are still savvy enough to follow that advice, but you see so many people who are also just giving all of their information and their money out to just random strangers who are promising to make them wealthy if only they sign up for, Trump's latest meme coin or whatever. Me casually handing my entire address to a random... yeah. But the frustrations around new social platforms isn't new. Networks will continue to pop up, ideally, and longtime users will continue to be annoyed by newbies. In the early to mid 1990s, people often first accessed the internet.
Quick pause, folk in chat. This is actual important internet history coming up.
Okay.
So pay attention.
I'm ready for this because I remember first getting online.
You might know about this.
People often first accessed the internet when they arrived at college. This is true. While I had dial-up at home, I relished going to college because they had plentiful computer labs, all of which were equipped with like broadband internet, something that was basically a luxury at the time. It was like 4 or 5 times faster than like anything I could get at home. And it just like opened up a whole new world for me. Around September of every year, a bunch of new users would log on to their university's network and start poking around the forums and discussion groups. Literally what I did. One of the first accounts that I ever made was to access a forum for a discussion about the video game Black and White made by Lionhead Studios. And yeah, I was a dipshit back in those days. The internet old-timers would be very frustrated because the new people didn't know the social norms, says technologist, writer, and former Wired contributor Anil Dash. Exactly the phenomenon we're seeing right now. September for the most online netizens. And I've not heard anyone use the term netizens in a hot minute. Was a dreaded...
That's how you know this person being interviewed is real.
Was a dreaded time of the year. AOL opened the floodgates, allowing anyone to access the internet at any time. AOL's bloom coincided with the Telecommunications Act of 1996, which deregulated the telco industry and brought internet connectivity to the homes and institutions across the US. So, in the UK, AOL was not all that successful, from what I remember. Like, I could be misremembering, but like, we all knew about the AOL free trial discs. People would make like collages and like art pieces out of them. People would use them as coasters. Even AOL got in on the joke with the free trial discs. One of their commercials literally had a dad phoning AOL being like, "Yes, I'd like one of your free trial discs, please." And he lifts up his cup of tea, and one of the discs falls off of the bottom of it. And he's like, "I've got one." But yeah, this period was called the Eternal September, with wave after wave of newbies getting online, Dash says. The pattern has repeated itself with LiveJournal. Oh my god, LiveJournal was one thing that I never really looked into. Do you have any experience with LiveJournal?
I do not have any experience with LiveJournal.
Fair enough. Actor and investor Ashton Kutcher appeared on CNN in 2009 and challenged the network to see whose account could hit 1 million Twitter followers first. Kutcher won. The stunt led to a rush of users flooding the microblogging platform. Yeah, once upon a time, Twitter was literally just used for people to be like, you know, look at this sandwich that I ate today, or whatever. Or like trying to see what like memorable little micro poem you could like slap into 140 characters.
Good number to pick. It's not quite gross.
Lubchansky thinks this moment presents an opportunity for people to examine their reply etiquette. Read the whole post before you respond. Take a moment to respond. And if you're going to respond with a joke, and we're not friends already, go look and see if somebody's made it already, Lubchansky says. Because there's a real...
right. Fuck turfs.
Hi, Archangel. How you doing? Because there's a really good chance they have. Meanwhile, Brown considers the block function on Bluesky to be a favor to its recipient. If someone comes into my comments and they just really, really don't understand, usually I just block them so we don't run into each other again, she says. No hard feelings. It's a different approach than the norm on X, where quote tweets viciously insult the original post, a part of the platform's noxious fabric. I'm not trying to repeat the part of Twitter where the internet makes me mad every day, Brown says. Honestly, yeah, I don't miss that. I do not miss that part of Twitter at all. Satirical site The Onion has the 5th largest Bluesky account, with over 1.2 million followers. Onion CEO Ben Collins doesn't mind people replying to jokes in earnest. On the contrary, he says, it's the funniest part of the internet. It means more people are seeing your jokes, he says. If everyone is immediately breaking out into uproarious applause at your joke, your audience is too small. As someone who regularly used and posted on Twitter for years, I share the frustration when one of my jokey posts is misread or taken as fact. But it also strikes me as unfair to shame someone because they haven't been slamming their head on the same wall of the internet that I have. Not everyone crawled here from the radioactive sewer of Twitter.com. As we all get settled in along our new neighbors, it might be helpful to remember that. If not, at least Bluesky has very robust blocking features. You know what?
Doesn't it go on a ride?
I did not expect it to take the direction that it did. I was expecting this to be like a grouchy, like, boomer article about how, Bluesky, won't let me, do slurs anymore, and so this is why it's a bad place. But this was actually a pretty insightful, like, read into how we really kind of need to be cognizant of the fact that the bubble that we are in is not the entire internet, and maybe we need to remember that, and maybe the people coming into this bubble also need to be cognizant of that.
Yeah, I feel like this guy was like, all right, I'm gonna write an article to get those chuds to listen to some reason.
Yeah, like, I expected
it
this.
sure does open up seeming like it's bait for those people, and then as it progresses, it slowly gets more and more like, no, actually, you should be more tolerant of things.
Thank you for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, hit the subscribe button, and remember that the world is only as dark as we allow it to be.